Hi everyone. I want to go over some of the grammar from Exodus 9:16 with you. Again, this starts off with some particles that it didn't ask you to go over, but you can roughly translate 9:16. But nevertheless, we have a disjunctive use of the vav with a word that means nevertheless as our first word, and you can look at all these along with the notes. I'm just going to hit a couple highlights. For this purpose, I have caused you to stand so that, or in order to show you my power, and so that, or in order to declare my name in all the earth. So powerful. And just a couple things. A word that you run into twice in this context is this particular particle. It shows up. It's the second word in the sentence. In this case, it's almost like it's an auxiliary phrase. It can be causal on account of this, or it can be purpose for this purpose. I think it's going to be the latter because of context, which I'm going to show you in a minute, because it's going to show up again here with an infinitive. Again, this is what Cook is going to call the infinitive. Arnold Choi are going to call these infinitive constructs, and we see a couple of those in this section. But first, let's look at the first actual finite verb that we see. We have a hifil perfect form of amad. Amad means stand when it's a call. The hifil is a causative kind of a stem, and that's what it has. It has causative force. So it's first person singular. I, this meaning God, caused you to stand. Here's the suffix you. Just a letter there. This is I caused you to stand, so we have a hifil perfect. Again, what kind of perfect is this? This is a present perfect that gives us a completed action. The hifil carries a causative force in this case. And as a perfect, this is our standard complete action that indicates that here. So I caused you to stand. Now that one's fairly straightforward. Now let's look at the second piece. Again, we have an infinitive. Again, a Cook would call this an infinitive. This is the word in the sentence that it's ba'avor. Har otaka. This is an infinitive, a hifil infinitive with a second masculine singular suffix on it. Again, the object of this is going to be Pharaoh once again. But what's going on here is an infinitive, and you want to look up infinitive constructs in Arnold Choi. It has some different usages, and one of the main functions of these are in what we're getting called nominal phrases. You can read through these, but most of the categories show up with prepositions, and that's what we have. We have a series of prepositions here, and what you want to look for is if there's a preposition either attached to your infinitive or directly in front of it, that's going to signal one of these special usages. So if you read down through the different categories and see category C in Arnold Choi, we come to purpose. And if you notice, certain prepositions signaled a purpose use of the infinitive. One of them is the preposition lamed, which you can see first, but also note towards the end of that entry, I'm on 3.4.1c, we actually find our particle ba'avor here, and that's also as a way to indicate purpose. That's why I said the first usage of this is also purpose. It's consistency. For this very purpose, I caused you to stand, so in order to show you, that's our infinitive. We have a hifil infinitive. The infinitive, again, this is a purpose infinitive, and the hifil, again, adds a causative feature here. It shows causative force. In order to cause you to see my power. And then we have another infinitive phrase, this time with a different particle, l'ma'an safor. And again, you can find this phrase as well as a common use here. And in this case, we have in order that Another purpose infinitive, and so this phrase is in order to declare my name in all the earth. Again, you can look at the notes, but this is the first time we've seen the infinitives. Again, when you find an infinitive, you want to see, the key thing is to see, is there a preposition or some kind of particle in front of it, and that will signal to you what its function is. Again, if you're just looking at English translations, you can see purpose being indicated by phrases like so that, in order that, that kind of thing. Causative force would be because. So there's some different options there, but this would be 3.4.1, look for infinitive constructs, and we see a couple of kind of classic examples here in Exodus 9:16. Again, if you have any other questions, let me know, and look at my notes as well, and you can see I worked up through every word. Again, I'm asking you to analyze nouns, verbs, prepositional phrases. Again, we'll see you on the discussion boards.